Unfiltered.
I'm not sold. I'm sorry.
Unapologetic.
I'm not trying to talk about him.
Unlike anyone else.
But knowing y'all
will probably make me.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do over the airways of Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio every weekday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Number to call up as always is 888 Mad Dog 6. That's 888 Mad Dog 6. That's 888-623-3646. Again, you're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Hope y'all had an absolutely wonderful weekend. I know I did. I'm very, very happy because my girls, the Lady Rams from Winston-Salem State University, where my alma mater, where I went to school in HBCU, won the CIAA championship. So very, very happy, very, very proud of them. I want to start off the show by giving them some love. And my Knicks won yesterday. Now, it's not just that they won, but they won in absolutely positively convincing fashion, going on a 26-2 run in the first half, and then ultimately blowing the San Antonio Spurs out. All right, courtesy of a 114-89 victory at Madison Square Garden yesterday afternoon, snapping San Antonio's 11-game winning streak. They went 11-0 in the month of February. They lost yesterday to the New York Knicks. And when you see performances like this, you get a little bit excited. You get a little bit excited because you're the New York Knicks. When they're starting five intact, you improve to 22-7, okay? You see a 26-2 run like that. You see Miles Bridges, the man they gave up 5 first-round picks for, and this brother's got 25 points and 5 steals, okay, on 59% shooting. That's a big deal. Jalen Brunson doing what he does, no surprise there, okay? No surprise there. Brunson scoring 16 points in the first half as New York entered the break up 10 and never trailed again. No surprise there, no surprise there. But Mikal Bridges playing the way that he plays. If Mikal Bridges plays like that, which I doubt that he will consistently, but if he were to play like that, New York Knicks got a chance. New York Knicks got a chance. Now, I will unapologetically state that I am a man that is living in fear when it comes to my New York Knicks this basketball season. I don't believe in them against the Detroit Pistons. I don't believe in them against the Detroit Pistons. Against anybody else in the Eastern Conference, I have faith in the New York Knicks. Against the Detroit Pistons, I do not have that faith. I'm not a believer. I'm just not. I'm just not. And I have to say that, and I have to keep it a buck and just be 1,000% honest with you. See, to me, reason why the New York Knicks resonate with me right now, talking about this issue, is because the New York Knicks haven't been to the NBA Finals since 1999. And I'm here to tell you right now, I think it will probably be another quarter century before the New York Knicks get to the finals if they don't get to the finals this year. That's just the belief system that I have inside of me. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've won 13 of their last 17. You understand? When you look at them defensively, since January 21st, they're 14-4, tied for the best record in the Eastern Conference. They're tops in the league in defensive rating, net rating, assist to turnover ratio, and opponents' points off turnovers. But there's a couple of things that have me a little bit taken aback. Okay? First of all, San Antonio, don't look at yesterday's performance about them. They shoot better than that. 26% from three-point range. That's not going to happen again. 18-10, they lost on the offensive glass. That's not going to happen again. Nobody willing to step up and help Wembanyama, who had a good game with 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks, but still shot 1 of 7 from 3 and committed 7 turnovers for the game. That's not going to happen too often. We know that. De'Aaron Fox can ball. Stephon Castle can ball. Dylan Harper can ball. Harrison Barnes can ball. They got a good team. And this kid, Mitch Johnson, can coach. Props to him and the job that he's doing coaching the San Antonio Spurs. Deserves a lot of credit. But in the end, here's what you got to look at when you're looking at the New York Knicks right now. Karl Anthony Towns. Do y'all know over the last 3 games, he's only attempted 3 3-point attempts in 86 minutes of play over the last 3 games? 3 3-point shot attempts. This is one of the best shooting big men in basketball. He's only averaging 14.3 points over the last 3 games, averaging 9 shots per game, even though he's shooting 59% from the field. 1 3-point attempt per game. What the hell is going on? And 3 turnovers. What the hell is going on with that? I expected to see better than that from Karl Anthony Towns. And regardless of how the New York Knicks are successful with him limiting the amount of shots that he takes, I don't believe that's something that you can rely upon long term. I don't believe that Karl Anthony Towns shooting 9 shots or averaging 14 points is going to cut the mustard for the New York Knicks come postseason time. I need more from him. I need more from him. And I don't know whether it's him or Mike Brown holding him back, but something's got to give. And I just think it's important to mention that. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. That's where my concern lies for him. I'm just of that mindset. I'm just a little bit phased. And Nate and Sean, if we have that sound of Draymond Green talking about Nico Harrison and Luka Doncic and all of that stuff, please get it for me because I want to play it for my audience here. Because that's the subject that I want to transition to. Because it's a big deal and it's on my mind and I need to touch it. Draymond Green has his own podcast. He actually does a very good job with it. He recently did an interview with Skip Bayless. Y'all should all go listen to that, by the way. Draymond Green is obviously a very outspoken individual. And regardless of what you want to act like when you see him seeming uncontrollable when it comes to going after the referees, he's quite freaking brilliant. He's really smart. Knows basketball inside out. But in my opinion, there are certain times where he lets his emotions get in the way and get the best of him. And I think this is one of those times when he's talking about now former Dallas Mavericks executive Nico Harrison, who was recently fired from the organization in the aftermath of trading a 25-year-old global iconic basketball figure that is Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for the likes of somebody 6 years older than him and Anthony Davis, who got hurt in his first game as a Dallas Maverick and was out for weeks, along with Max Christie and a first-round pick in 2029. Well, this is Draymond Green, for some inexplicable reason, feeling compelled to speak up for Nico Harrison, the now former executive for the Dallas Mavericks. I want you to listen to what Draymond Green had to say before I respond. Take it away.
Nico Harrison continued to give his reasonings on why he believed that was the right thing to do for the Dallas Mavericks organization. Was it the right thing or wrong thing? I'm not a Dallas Maverick. I don't really care if it was the right thing or the wrong thing. But what I do care about is so many people crushed Nico Harrison for the reasons that he gave. And when Nico gave those reasonings, everybody said he's ridiculous, he's crazy. This has nothing to do with Luka, by the way, what I'm saying. But now when I turn on the TV, all I see is everybody in the media who crushed Nico Harrison, who essentially aided in him getting fired, regurgitating the same things that Nico Harrison was saying. And I struggle with that because I haven't seen one person come out and say, hey, Nico, I'm sorry for the things I said about you when you made that move. Because I just said the same thing out of my mouth. I struggle with that a bit.
I have no idea what the hell Draymond Green is talking about. Now, before I go into this, it's important to recognize the fact that this is Draymond Green. He's a 4-time champion, former Defensive Player of the Year. You can get on him about his shot, because obviously you would hope that he would have shot better from the perimeter because Lord knows what opportunity that could have opened up for the Golden State Warriors. But I'm here to tell you that's it. Yeah, he's fiery, he's emotional. He's very loquacious towards the referees. I get it. But this brother's a champion. Golden State doesn't win rings without Draymond Green. They don't do it. I'm telling you that right now. They don't do it. They don't have 4 rings without Draymond Green. I don't know if they have 1 ring without Draymond Green. If you want to say with Kevin Durant, the most you can say is 2 because Steph and Klay by themselves certainly would not have won without Draymond Green. But I don't know what the hell he's talking about with this. Media members who said the same thing, what are you talking about? That is simply not true. Now, Nico Harrison, here's what I would say to Draymond Green. When you talk about Nico Harrison actually did a damn good job up until the Luka Doncic trade. He actually did a damn good job. And I was of the mindset that the trade for Anthony Davis was so bad that Nico will probably never get a job in the NBA again. But according to numerous sources, there's actually a few teams that are interested in employing him. And he could get another job. I'm here to tell you I hope that happens. I ain't rooting against Nico. Nico's a good dude. Smart and obvious, knows what a championship DNA is because he worked with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. He's the one that went out and acquired Kyrie Irving. He's the one that went and got Daniel Gafford. He's the one that went and got Derek Lively and P.J. Washington and cats like that. I got nothing but mad respect for Nico Harrison. But the trade for Luka Doncic was a disaster. And yes, it comes down to it being a fireable offense. Let's count the ways as to why that is. Luka Doncic was 6 years younger. Did he take care of himself and work on his conditioning? Excuse me, to the degree that he should have? Of course he didn't. But he did just take you to the finals a year before. He was beloved in the city of Dallas and internationally. He was good for business because he's one of the biggest basketball superstars the world over. So you take all of that into consideration, it's like, wait a minute. You let him go, you want to make sure it's a great business decision. And what Draymond to me is missing, which is what I'm befuddled as to what he's talking about the media is saying about. I'm like, what are you talking about? What was the media lamenting? It wasn't just the fact that you traded Luka, it's that you didn't shop him. It's that you didn't call around and see what deals you could get for him. The New York Knicks had to give up 5 first-round picks, 4 unprotected, for Mikal Bridges. By the way, the New York Knicks are 9-1 when he has 3 or more steals per game in a game. But that's beside the point. The point is 5 first-round picks, 4 unprotected for Mikal Bridges. The Orlando Magic had to give up multiple first-round picks for Desmond Bane. Houston had but so much to give up for Kevin Durant, but they had to give up multiple second-round picks to some players, including a Jalen Green and a Dylan Brooks, to get Kevin Durant. How in the hell do you trade Luka Doncic and all you have to show for it is an injury-prone Anthony Davis, who, by the way, was healthy for most times in the playoffs, by the way, and a Max Christie and 1 first-round pick. And by the way, that same Anthony Davis got hurt this very first game in a Dallas Mavericks uniform and was out for weeks. And so bad was it for him in Dallas that Kyrie Irving is like, yo, I don't need to come back this year. Even though he made that decision after Anthony Davis was traded. And Anthony Davis was shipped to the Washington Wizards. You can't defend that trade. It's not because Luka was moved. It was how he was moved and what you got in return for why he was moved. Luka Doncic is a global iconic figure. Certainly there are GMs are saying, we wouldn't have traded for him. We wouldn't have wanted him, whatever. Bullshit. Plenty of owners would have traded for him because he's good for business. He's going to give you 28 to 30 a night. And he's a marketing tool you can promote worldwide. What owner ain't looking for something like that? Most of these owners know they can't sniff at a damn championship in the near future to begin with. I'll be damned if they weren't sitting there and looking at the fact that the brother's averaging over 30 every postseason. And he's a global iconic figure. What are you talking about? This is Luka we're talking about here. He's on a team with LeBron James when LeBron asked to defer. He's averaging 35. What are you talking about? You cannot lose him for what you got in return. 25-year-old, 5-time first-team All-NBA player. That's what he was when he was moved. And if Draymond was a member of the Dallas Mavericks and you traded him, and the only person that you called was Rob Pelinka, and you didn't scour the league to see what you could manufacture for his services, don't tell me Draymond Green would not have had a problem with that. He would have. He absolutely would have. Come on now. There's no way around that. That's all they're talking about here with Nico. The angst never dissipated. Fire Nico chants were frequently heard since the teams were at the team's home games. Dumont, whose family bought the majority share of the franchise from Mark Cuban in December of 2023, he did sign off on a blockbuster trade after Harrison convinced him that signing Doncic to a supermax contract extension would be a poor investment due to the then injured superstar's persistent conditioning concerns. Defense wins championships, Harrison said, a phrase he repeated again multiple times in media availabilities at and near the end of last season's to justify the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who was a defensive liability? It was Allen Iverson. I covered it for 10 years. Allen Iverson was a defensive liability. You know what Larry Brown did? He came in and he got the Eric Snows, the Aaron McKees, the George Lynches of the world, the Tyrone Hills, the Dikembe Mutombos, and built the team around them. And the only thing that stopped them from winning a championship was Kobe and Shaq. Shaq in his prime, Kobe approaching his prime. That was it. If it wasn't for that, Allen Iverson would be a champion. What did Larry Brown do? What did Pat Croce do? What did Billy King do? Said Allen Iverson ain't going nowhere at that particular moment in time. We ain't moving him. Because he's box office. He's too damn good for business. We can't risk that. He's selling out arenas every time we go, everywhere we go. That's Luka. That's what I'm pointing to when I'm saying I don't understand where Draymond Green is coming from. Nico Harrison is a good dude, a good man. By the way, when he was there, 4+ year tenure, 182 and 157, 54% of his games were wins. Highlighted by runs to the 2022 Western Conference Finals and the 2024 NBA Finals. So this same Luka Doncic that wasn't in shape, this same Luka Doncic, whose championship DNA you couldn't depend on, guided you to a 135 and 88 regular season record. You were 47 and 69 without him. 22 games under 500 without him. 47 games above 500 with him. 2 trips to a conference finals and an NBA finals berth. And we're talking about his conditioning couldn't be trusted? Seriously? Come on, y'all. You make a deal like that, I can't defend that for Nico Harrison. I can't defend it. I can defend everything else, not that. If anybody should know that, it's Draymond Green. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Your calls and more in a minute. Stick around. Don't go away. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back with more in a minute.